Hey there, it's just Whistle, and in today's video we talk about how you finally reach your goal, and we talk about the universal fact that you are constantly stuck at your same position and why that is the case. And as a little bonus and extension, I help you how to break free from your stuckness and then how to see the obstacles that your goal give you because you don't actually see them. So with no further ado, let's get started. This insanely good painting is actually a very abstract construct of something that is called goal creation or the North Star project. It is not something that you normally see. It is actually, maybe you see this in a very common way, but it is something that is always explained in a very abstract way. And maybe you saw a lot of videos that how this style. Man on a whiteboard or a man on a mirror board explains the abstractions of the world, how to achieve your goal, and you still are here watching another video, how to get rich, how to double or triple your income, or how to reach your goals, your wealth, freedom, your growth, or your wealth. How you do it. You're still here and you still don't know, and that is because a lot of people don't explain this in a detail that it deserves. Because actually, after watching this video, you can do whatever you want and can achieve whatever you want, because achieving something is only caused by your choices. Okay, you are here. This is you, and you are staring to your goal. What you need to understand is, as an initial condition, is that you only see this area. So you are sailing. I don't know how far away from your goal you are. You are staring towards your goal and you only see this. It is like, having a flashlight and pointing towards something. You only see the immediately pathway, that helps you or that shows the goal, but you don't see the obstacles occurring by your drive towards your goal. That is the first stage. And the second stage is that you are so focused on looking at your goal that you don't care about the ship that sails the boat. So what I want to tell you in this simple video is just this simple thing. Your boat is you. It's your initial condition. Without a boat, you can't sail. Without a boat, you can't reach your goal. And without you, you don't know what the goal is. So basically, this is the body and the mind, or the mind and the soul. The polarity between the external world and the abstraction of the world. The spirit and the internal and the external world. It is nothing else but materialization and manifestation towards a goal. This is the external force that drives you to the goal. This is the vision for the goal. Nothing more. So in easy terms, you are actually the sailor for the goal. The ship is the external force that sails you towards the goal. Nothing more, nothing less. But now, why you are stuck? Why wake up every single morning, have the same amount of money in your bank account, and talk to a lot of bad people, and have an unhappy relationship, are not in shape, don't actually have the goal you want, or you have, and you feel that you are stuck? And the reason for that is that because you are sailing and you look at your goal, you do your manifestation, you see this, you see your goal so clear. But what you oversee, because you are constantly looking at this, is the following. Your boat has little cracks. And what happens when a boat cracks? Well, it literally sinks. And now what you need to do, instead of focusing on your goal, you need to shift your attention towards these cracks. That means you look here and you forget to look at your goal. You fix the cracks and you put your hands on it. And while you put your hands on it, you don't reach your goal because you can't drive forward, because you have to fix the legs. And that is your life right now. You wake up, have no money, or have less money than you want. You don't have the relationships you want. you are not in the health situation you want. That's only because your current situation doesn't allow you to do. Because you have so many issues in your current life that you can't move forward. So what we need to do in order to look at this picture, at this site, is we need to understand what we are and what problems we actually face. In front of me I have 10 points that we need to focus on in 8 areas we need to master so these cracks can't happen. What you need to understand is big goals require a large amount of sacrifice, and you might know this, okay? Big goals require a large amount of sacrifice, and sacrifice is simply driving towards your goal and away from your current situation. The thing is, in these current situations, your friends are here, so the fish, I don't know, that is very abstract. Your friends are here, the people who want to stay in this current area, okay? Let's mark it like this. I make a mess, but I don't care. But what now happens is you want to break free, and the thing is that there are new people and new friends, and you need to leave this area. That was just a short side note, sorry for that. So let's talk first of all on the cracks. So, understanding for you right now. You create your goal. You have a goal, freedom, growth, wealth, whatever, okay? Then what happens is that you want to move towards your goal, but you can't because the boat that drives you towards your goal has legs. And the boat is just an abstract modulation of the external world. So basically your life right now, your current state of situation, your shape, your body, your mind, your brain, your neurons, so actually the external expression. The goal you made up in your mind is something abstract, internal force, okay? But your current situation is who you are right now. And what we need to do is, we need to remove these cracks. Wait a second, we need to remove these cracks, okay? We need to remove these cracks to actually, wait a second, yeah, my drawings are not the best, I'm sorry for that, guys, but you might get the wonderful thing later on. So, that you can, when you have no cracks, literally push towards your goal. The wind is blowing towards your goal, and you are setting sail, or you set the sails in the right direction. First of all, we take a look at the cracks. And initially what you need to be aware of is that your cracks are your current problems you face externally. And these are the problems you might face. I will list them up here. While I do this, I will I don't know, talk to you, and yeah. The first thing is the business area. So I have 8 areas, okay? You need to focus on in your life. And these 8 areas are actually the things that causes these cracks. And of course, every area has subcomponents and all of that, and you might know this, but for, the sake of easiness, you need to understand what this is to actually work. So I don't know how long this video will be, but I will give you the action steps, the tools to remove the cracks, to push towards the obstacles, and to reach the goal you want. And that should be the last video you will ever watch about this topic. Because in the end, as a double bonus, I will actually tell you why you still watch those videos despite you know all of this. Because maybe you know all of this and you heard it in kind of other style or another way, but you still are here watching another manifestation, self-transcendent growth video, how to grow. Because, yeah, that's the reason. 7. That's actually a funny thing. And the last thing is this. Okay. So these are the 8 areas that causes the cracks. So you, most of the times, your goal is not actually having money. That is what you need to understand. Maybe you are in this manifestation area or in this self-growth, self-transcendence business area, and what you need to understand is that people don't seek money, they seek the things they get from the money. So you actually seek something different. For me, for example, I wanted to become wealthy to be the sole decision maker in my life. I don't want to be dependent on people. I choose how much I earn, I choose how I work, and I'm fully responsible for doing it. Being an entrepreneur is the only way for me to do so, because when I am employed, I don't judge about employment, but at the point when I'm employed, someone else tells me how much I earn, someone else guides the vision forward, someone else decides what to do, and not I. So I take away my responsibility, and I want to take full responsibility over my life to create the life I want. And my philosophy on that is that I want to be free in every area, and for that I need to take full responsibility and be free from the chains of other people. So whenever I have an issue, I don't blame someone. Whenever I have problems with my finances, I need to take care of it. Whenever I have problems with my health, I take care of it. Whenever I have problems with my relationship, I take care of it. So I need to nail every single thing in my life to be, to chase it. And my main core driver is actually freedom. I know the philosophy of freedom is very negotiable, but for the sake of easiness, we leave it at this point. And business is actually only the area of money pursuing, because our world is a materialistic world, and the value that gives us the materialistic exchange is actually money. So for that, you need to nail business, or in other words, the money stuff. And when it comes to the finances, I mean the money that you actually have. When you are employed, business and finances are actually go hand in hand, but in two different ways. They go in hand of hand in terms of what area it is. It is the area of money, but they don't go in hand when it comes to how the money is spent or how we actually see the money. Business is how, or employment is how you earn the money. Finance is how you spend the money. So two different areas. If you have a consistent income and a consistent outcome, and you know these two things, it is easy and you have no lags. If you're always net positive, no lags are there, and you can drive towards your goal. Okay. If you earn enough and you spend less, it's okay. You can drive towards your goal. And if your goal is earning more, then you have this one area as your goal. What you need to understand is you always drive or seek to improve in one of these areas. So initially, most of the times, people focus on the 3 areas in their life: health, wealth, relationship. So you want wealth, so status in other terms, in form of materialistic thing, and that is actually money. Then you want social relationships, so in terms of friends or status with beautiful woman or something like that. And you want to have health in order to achieve all of these things. You want to be healthy in a great mental and bodily condition. And the mind and body, actually, that's what I mentioned. The body is how you actually externally appear, what you actually are, flesh and blood, and how much body fat you have, how much muscle mass you have, how good your eyes are, how good your ears are, how good your teeth are, how your hygiene, all of that is the body, and that's the area of your body. If that is an issue for you, if you're overweight, or you can be successful and overweight, but it is way harder because this drains a leg, this causes a leg, and you always have to take a look at this leg. Okay, don't get me wrong, there are successful entrepreneurs who have a bad body in the way that they are not initially healthy, but they are aware of having one leg, and they just push, and have way more stress, and it's way harder. I hope you understand it. So what I want to tell you is, you can have an issue in one of these areas, but it gets initially harder because your boat is slowly sinking. If you have more, of course, the fall or the decline of this is way harder. And if you have a big goal, you need to nail all of these areas. If your goal is to, earn 3k net a month and spend 1k a month and save your money and, just chillax your life, you don't need to nail anything, because you can stay where you are, because that is for most of people who live in the Western world, a situation they can do at ease right now. You just get a salary, you have, I don't know, a wife, you are a little lightly overweight, you have a lot of fights with your wife, not not external fights, but actually mental fights, and yes, you are slightly towards the range of depression, and that is actually the mediocre male experience in our today's society, and that is you. So if you want to do that, you don't need to care about it, but if you want to grow, listen more. So we nail business, our income, outcome, the body, our physical experience, how we see, or not how we are seen, and how we actually look, how our blood markers are, how we are. So actually, body, we are, okay, how healthy we are. The mind, how well healthy we are in the mind. So you can have bodily issues like sitting in a wheelchair. That is an issue that you have permanently, that you can't change, and it will always be a draining force. It is harder for you to do so. And the same occurs with the mind. When you have some trauma and you didn't work on the trauma, or you have some issues in your family, or you have some I don't know, you got bullied in school and you did not care about that, or you haven't studied the Jungian shadow work, then all of this creates a lag, and the bigger the problem, the bigger the lag, and the more it drains you. That's why a lot of people fail, and one of the main causes of the of the modern society, especially for men, is they fail because they haven't worked on their mind stuff before they actually want to work on something. All this manifestation stuff and self-improvement thing is actually an ego trip. So people, show how jacked they are, or the exact other polarity is, yeah, self-love, self-acceptance, but no one actually does work towards the problem they face. And when you did something wrong in the past, or when you had some problems that you can fix now, like the problem with your mother, and you haven't talked to her for 5 years, you need to change it, you need to fix it. Not only being jacked, that will not help you. Actually working on the mind stuff is way, way better. The next thing is focus. So for me, it is easy to create those videos. So this is actually fun for me. Maybe you see that I lose the line, or I can't actually articulate myself like I want to. But normally I record for my team, and in my for my product and for my clients, 3 to 4 5 hour long videos. So focus, and I sit here for 12 hours, and it's very easy for me. So that is not a lag. But if you now, are brain rot, and your dopaminergic system is fried, and you now need to watch this on 3x speed, or you are scrolling while I'm doing it, maybe I caught you, then yeah, the focus area is very heavy. And focus is actually one thing that creates the speed. Because if you have 4 hours of focus a day available, and in comparison to 8 hours, you actually double your output. And that is with every area. It is not this plus this plus this plus this, area 1, 2, 3. It is area 1 multiplied with area 2 multiplied with area 3. So if you double your body, you double your output speed. If you double your mind, you double. And the problem that people get in today's world, and the matter of fact, is that we don't actually know what is good. We only know what is good towards our goal. So we don't know when we double our body, because how do we measure doubling our body expression? We only can measure it towards growth, factor of growth. So if your goal is to be a successful entrepreneur, okay? If your goal is, you need to, or the first thing you need to do is you need to force, or you need to set a clear goal that is tangible and externally achievable, like a money goal, okay? Now you leave all areas the same and only fix one, the body, okay? And now you see, or now you take a look at what happened, what changed when you pursue your goal. And you think you achieved, and you worked on your body, and you worked very hard. But you only went from 10k to 11k. What you now see is that you only 1.1x your body. I hope you get it. So what I want to tell you is simply, you have the 8 areas. All 8 areas help you with a multiplying factor to reach the goal. The only way to assess it, because these are all abstract areas, is to reverse engineer towards our goal. And the goal is something abstract, like growth, wealth, and I don't know, freedom. And we need to materialize it to actually have numbers to track it. So we have the goal, like 100k a month, and then reverse engineer to all the areas in our life we need to have to achieve it. Of course, 100k a month is a business goal, and then this year gets your goal, and you need to fix all 7 other areas. When you have a health goal, you need to fix all other 7 areas. When you have a focus goal, you need to have all other 7 areas in a place. Because the person who earns 100k probably has a great amount of focus. The person who I don't know, earns 1 million a month has a larger amount of focus, and has a better social life, and has a better dopamine control. So all of these 8 areas need to be understood. You can't miss out one thing, and you can't be that stupid and say, oh yeah, fuck it, I scam other people, and then you are poor, and then you're broke, and then balancing forces help you, and the universe will actually take over. Next up, we have social. Social is just social life, have no toxic friends, or actually, I'm explaining this in the abstract way, who you are surrounded with. So who you are digitally surrounded with. So do you have a mentor? Do you watch some videos? Do you consume words from other people, experience from other people, read other books from other people, listen to other thoughts from other people? This is your environment and your social relationship too. So whenever you, I don't know, have 3 hours of junk, you watch 3 hours of junk every single day, this is a part of your social environment too. And it is no different from having this as him as a friend, you know, in comparison to having him on YouTube or on Twitch. It is no different. So you have the social, and this needs to be filled up in your environment. So basically in the real environment and the digital environment. So your parents are real, and your mentor maybe is in the digital world, but it's also real, and his thoughts are real too. Dopamine. Dopamine is a thing that I actually thought about for a long time. And the only thing I mean with dopamine is the pursuit of doing hard things. So dopamine can be framed as pain tolerance, because what dopamine actually is, or what in abstract ways dopamine does, it lowers your pain tolerance. When you have low dopamine median, probably watch videos about dopamine. If you don't, dopamine actually, short form, we as human beings seek dopamine. Okay, so short form content is only good because it drives a lot of dopamine. Junk food is only good or we only want to have it because it drives dopamine. In an objective world, or in the subjective actually, because your goal is only, you know, made up by you. If your goal is to doom scroll all the time, that's totally fine to you, but you are here to watch videos about freedom, growth, and wealth. So therefore you want to lower your dopaminergic input. That the hard work that is actually lower dopaminergic, that is actually why work is hard, because it causes lower dopaminergic response. The point, I lost my mind. The point I'm striking here is just simply, the matter of fact is that dopamine is the only thing that helps you to go through hardship. So the only thing, or the only reason why people do this monk mode, and you know, don't eat junk food, or don't watch TV shows, or don't do high dopaminergic stuff, is that you have an easier time doing hard work, and hard work is way easier. If I had to record this video, and before that I watched 3 nasty videos and doom scroll for 2 hours, I am less likely to do this, because I was at a high and now I'm at a very low point. Because now I woke up and I'm at a reset point. I get dopamine actually from this, and I'm in a very low state, and I actually find it good. Our mind does not see dopamine as a unit; it only sees dopamine as a comparison from the current and future state. So when your current state is very low for when it comes to dopamine, the slightly higher amount of dopamine is very good for us. But when in comparison you are in a high state and you are on this exact same slightly higher than the average state, is suddenly our brain thinks we are declining and we are decreasing and our life is bad. That's the only way why dopamine is good. Or why fixing dopamine is nice. Knowledge is actually the pursuit of information that we have in our mind. So knowledge is actually the neural expression of our images, of our realization, and of our mind. When we talk about knowledge, we actually only talk about things that we, or tools that we have to achieve the goal. If you know everything to achieve the goal, the only thing you now need to do is to fix all of these areas and do it. But most of the times people don't actually know how to do that, and therefore you need to be aware of this factor too. If I don't know how to become a billionaire in 25 years, right now, guaranteed, then I only fix these 7 areas and I know exactly how to do it. Period. So what we here have is the simple form of your life. Your business, your finance, body, mind, focus, social, dopamine, and knowledge. If you fix those 8 areas, you achieve greatness. And I hope you want to earn a lot of money. So this year is for, most of the time, man. I hope a woman watches. Go woman. And you will achieve greatness if you do this. And these are actually the things you need to do, or the actions, the actual actions that you can take, and areas that you need to face on your daily life to achieve the greatness. Okay? We talked about the areas you have that causes your goals, so that actually are channeled towards your goal and that actually give you the wind to push to your goal. Okay? But these are the areas that causes the lags as well. So if you have a lot of lags here, so if you are unhealthy, have a hard life, personally, you can still achieve your goal, but it's way harder because you need to spend a lot of time to fill out the lags, and your goal will be delayed for no reason. Okay. I hope you understand it. Do you understand it? Do you really understand it? Because initially it is really easy. We are here for 30 minutes now, and the concept is pretty easy. The ship, you, goal. Goal, abstraction. Abstraction needs to manifest in something real, and the real thing are actually these 8 areas, and what you now need to do is you need to build a character that actually can achieve that, and then you push towards it. And these 8 areas that I described are actually the 8 areas that you need to develop and to grow. If you want to stay, you can stay, but if you want to grow, you need to adapt towards your character in all of the 8 areas. Okay? By the way, in the end, as a bonus, it's another bonus, a bonus of the bonus of the bonus. I will give you the exact areas that I'm currently improving in, and I will tell you exactly how I achieve my goal. My goal is to become a billionaire, okay? And these are pretty straightforward ways and pretty easy to do, and I'm on the way to know it. That's why I'm only telling you my current state of mind, because I'm not a billionaire yet, therefore I don't know everything. If you would know everything here, you would already achieve the thing, because with time you can do it. But you are here watching the video to get some more knowledge, to actually understand what areas I need to improve in. Therefore, you don't actually know how to improve your life. Okay? So we fixed our boat. These are the 8 areas we need to fix. Fix these 8 areas, or actually be aware of these 8 areas. I don't know. write them down and pinpoint them at every area. What I do is I have a daily manifestation, I have identity I build, and what I do, I watch this or listen to my affirmations every single morning after I wake up, read through this. So before I record this video, I read the affirmations to be aware of who I want to become, and before I go to bed, to have my subconscious mind working while I'm sleeping, I read them and listen. I read them and listen at them as well. Okay, we now want to move. We are now fixed all the legs and we now need to move. And this here, I described it actually wrong, is only work/action. So you fixed all the legs, so all the areas now are fixed. And what you now need to do is you need to take action towards your goal. So if you have stable finances, stable body, stable emotional intelligence, stable focus, everything is stable dopamine, then what you only need to do is take work multiplied by time. This gets the output. Okay? If you work for a given time, you get the output, and then you reach your goal. It's simple as that. And this here is, by the way, this here is only a form of abstraction that came in my mind while I was recording this video actually. This is something that we call as obstacles. And the problem is now, you said, or what you need to understand now is, you could now say, okay, nice, now I have the output, I know exactly what work I need to do because I have the character built by the 8 points that I have, 1 to 8. This is the character I need to have, yeah. This is the character. And now I know my output, this is my goal. So what I could do is, I could rewrite this, simple math actually, and put this here, time equals output work. I know that is some math, but it is very abstract. But you can't actually do this because reality doesn't exist in a really easy way. And what you will face towards your way are obstacles. Because, and that's the only reason, because the matter of fact is that you right now don't know what you are. You don't know who you want to become. You don't know whatever you have. The only thing you know is what you can do today to become the version of tomorrow. And tomorrow you are a complete new character and you don't actually know what this character is because you are not there yet. Therefore, every single day, every single minute, every single hour, every single month, every single week, you stumble over obstacles that you haven't even thought of because it was not in your area of awareness. But when you now ship here, the obstacle began to get in your awareness. That means this here can't be done because your life actually is way more complicated than this video. So what we now focus on is, we do this to overcome every obstacle, to crush it, and to actually, I'm sorry little Mr. Fish, oh wait a second, I actually destroyed a building. To actually achieve it and to overcome all obstacles, you need to do this. It becomes very frustrating to set a deadline, and you figured it out, you planned for 3 months, and now the 3 months are over and you haven't achieved it because there are these obstacles that are naturally there. There's a universal law that you will face challenges and obstacles that you aren't aware of yet. So now it gets frustrating, and after, I don't know, you set the goal of earning 20k in 3 months and you are not yet there yet. So what you now do is you give up your goal and you sail back because the old things occur, the old problems occur and you are now back on move backwards. Or you think. The point I'm making here is we now know, okay? We now know exactly who we want to become. Well, basically you know who you want to become. I can't tell you who you want to become because that is your choice. You can be whoever you are, whoever you want to be, and knowing who you want to be is basically made up in these 8 areas. So in the business, in the finances, in the body, in the mind, in the focus, in the dopamine, in the social, and in the, what's the 8th component? Knowledge area. That is what you need to do if you want to be a smoking alcoholist. You need to be the character of being a smoking alcoholist. It is not something bad or good. It is only made up by you. What is bad or good? So you know what you want to be. You know how to achieve it by fixing these areas and becoming the person. But what you don't know is the way that is now in between of the gap. You don't know the gap. You don't know it. That's why you watch videos or you read things from people who already achieved your goal, because they are more aware of these obstacles, because they went through the path. They sailed through the wild ocean. They visited all the bad places and they had the setbacks, they had the failure. And time is something that you need to be very, very cautious about. You can't set time goals. But what you now maybe see is I, for my business, set time goals. So I have a time-based guarantee. And I only can do this because I know how to get someone to this position. Because I did it myself and I have several clients who did it themselves. But that's an exception. If you really know it and you only know it by actually doing it, trial and error, then you can do it. But you are in the current situations where you can't do it and you are not in a position to have someone who actually achieved it, maybe with me, if your goal is to make more money. But this is actually the thing you need to be aware of. Time is a devil. You set these short goals and you say, oh yeah, till Christmas I'm a millionaire. And then Christmas occurs and you are nothing. That is very hard and very bad to understand. So these are the obstacles. This is your goal, your dream, your pursuit. That's how you achieve greatness. And now I will tell you the first bonus. I actually forgot about all the other bonuses. The first bonus is I now list up all the 10 things or tools that you need to nail externally and internally to actually nail the other areas. So, for example, you want to, anyway, or listen up, say you this. Resist impulses. You know, this whole area of self-growth and so is so easy. People most of the time get emotional, their ego is there, and it is not that hard to actually achieve what you want, because normally you know it. And the only thing that is hindering you is, the polarity of your current self and the fight between your current and the evolving self. Because what you do is you leave your current situation, you leave your current self, the current situation, and you actually kill this personality to transcend to another. And that is the actual pain that occurs. So it is not that hard to, I'm sorry if you can't read that, it's not that hard to do this stuff and to actually achieve the goal. It will take longer normally than you organize than you expect. But what you realize is once you do it and you know that you're on the right track and you have someone like a mentor that actually gives you the luxus or the luxurious thing of having the real time frame, it's actually pretty easy, and it only is about taking the action and your decision if you really want to go. Most of the time the resistance comes because you actually don't want it and you have some trauma. So whenever you have this resistance occurring, I would recommend you to dive deep into it, listen to why you don't want to do the work right now, and put out a journal. Actually, always have a journal, next to me. So whenever I feel resistance, I write it down in a journal. I just write down, if someone says to you, how do you write down things in a journal? You just fill out your thoughts, and your thoughts are most of the time packed by emotions. That means your ego or your current self is blaming or actually saying things about your evolving situation, and then you review it because your evolving situation or your growing self is rational. Then you read through it, and then you actually accept that it's not that deep, and you say, okay, it's okay. I know that you now want to play chess more than working, but look at this. It's only 4 hours, and when you do this, you actually have more money to do that. And do you really want more money, or do you really want to work on your chess? Then you negotiate with yourself, and when you say, okay, I want to work, and then the more you negotiate, the more you dig deeper, the more rational you get, the less you go away from or the less you remove, or the more you remove the emotions, and the easier it is to make rational decisions that actually help you. Okay, and these are the areas, actually the 10 areas that will 9 plus 1, the 10 areas that will help you to achieve your goal. You never ever in your life need to watch another video, you never ever need to watch another book, because now there are 10 things that actually help you to achieve the goal. That's it. So we have impulse resistance. Okay, so that's what I said. Don't let your current self control your body. And impulses are these weird thoughts that suddenly occur once you do something painful. Once you think about going to the gym and you want to go to the gym, there is this, oh yeah, but my left shoulder is hurting. If on a rational basis you have a problem with your shoulder, that's totally fine. But in 90% of the case, or the 90% of times, it is not a rational factor that drives this. Okay, you need to. The only way to resist impulse and understand that it's actually resistant or it is actually a valid point is by knowing and understanding what you think about. And you only know and understand what you think about if you really write it down. If you really write it down, that's the point. Sleep. Native sleep, because on a biological factor, the universe creates us with the need for sleep, and if we don't fulfill the sleep, we actually turn crazy. We can't live without sleep, so we need to fix that. That is, by the way, the same with the factor on the number 7, the diet. And I'm not here to make you nutrition advice. I know my previous business I made. Oh, by the way, my previous business was I was a health consultant for multi-millionaires. So I only worked with 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs, and I made them healthy. So I gave them supplements and nutritional advice and sleep advice, and I created systems and all of that. And my dietary advice is choose what is easy for you to achieve your goal and what gives you the least amount of brain fog. And I don't actually mean brain fog in a way of brain fog after eating a burger. I mean brain fog in a way of energy and time management. The most efficient and best diet is actually a diet that slaughters the least amount of energy, gives you the most amount of energy, and slaughters the least amount of time, and gives you actually the most amount of time in form of longevity. So what you want to do is you want to have a diet that is easy to do, in best case that takes 0 seconds to eat, to digest, to be in your body, and gives you no energy crashes and gives you energy 24/7 a day, so that you can work 24 hours without sleeping insanely. And you live till 120. That is actually the most important diet. And if you think carnivore is good for you, if you think vegan is good for you, if you think single ingredient food is good for you, if you think McDonald's is good for you, then try it out. But if you feel problems in your energy, in your time, most of the time it is because of sleep and diet. So if you feel that, oh yeah, I have focus, but I can't focus, I'm so tired all day long, or I don't have the time because I need to cook long times, and I slept very bad, therefore I'm less efficient. These two areas are very important, when it comes to time and energy, and the problem is the only thing you have in your life is time and energy. So nail these two things. My dietary experience of what I actually eat is I tried out literally everything. So I was vegan for a short period of time. I was carnivore for a short period of time. I was omnivore. I only eat ultra processed foods. I had a mix. I eat non-processed food. And what I do is, or I have the rule, simple. I literally eat nothing for 16 hours. Has a lot of beneficial effects for the body. Then I have a supplement that is very antioxidative. And what I need to understand is I have a lot of stress in my mind and I have a lot of stress in my life because I want to achieve an insane goal in an insane amount of time. Therefore, I eat food that helps me to, relieve stress and make life easier. So dietary advice for me: I eat in the morning nothing. Then most of the times midday I have sweet potato with olive oil, some vegetables. So most of the time it's a mix of broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and carrots, and yeah, olive oil and sweet potato and chicken. So chicken breast. That's literally it. Then the next meal is most of the time oatmeal with oats, chia seeds, sunflower seeds, whey protein, berries, and walnuts if the calorie intake allows me. Then I have another meal that is most of the time only eggs, so 6 to 8 eggs, eggs with shrimps or eggs with some olive oil and avocado. So I vary with that. And in the evening after work, I literally eat whatever I want, but I take care, or I'm be aware, or I am aware of the fact that every additional negative food I eat impacts my next day. So I'm very cautious about that. So if I want to eat a chocolate bar, I only eat one instead of eight because I know the one will, shrink my productivity by 5% the next day. So I'm only aware of that factor. And then, you don't have the balancing forces that the universe tries to tell you that you need to eat a chocolate bar and you have cravings. The cravings are only balancing forces that are contributed by the universe, and the only thing you have is that, and then it's very easier to stick to it every single day. Because when you don't stick to it, you will burn out one day, and then you eat junk food for 2 weeks, and the amount of junk food you eat for this 2 weeks is the same amount as if you would just eat one bar of chocolate every single evening, and your life is way more chillax, and you have less of brain fog and less of headache. So to end some very long explanation, but I hope it makes sense. Gratitude is basically gratitude is in in short form, gratitude is just removing something you have and being grateful that you have it. So if you think about having cancer, being in the hospital and about to die, and now you look at yourself, you feel grateful, you feel gratitude, you feel positive energy because you have something that is good. And being gratitude in form of affirmations are good, are very important. And affirmations are not something, voodoo bad, because the only reason why affirmation and gratitude works is you shift your attention towards the thing you think about. And when you have gratitude or positive mind everywhere, positive things occur to you. And positive things are only the things that you seem as positive. people of news, that's the reason, by the way, why I don't watch news, because they are all propaganda driven and all, driven by negativity, and I can't control it. Therefore, I don't let it in my environment, and I just feel gratitude about the things that I actually can control and I actually want to be. So, actual action step, what I want to do, or what I want you to do is, go on YouTube, search for I don't know, business gratitude videos, or list up in ChatGPT, say who you are, and say create 4 pages of affirmations for me. Then you have it in a Google document, and then you just read them out, record them, and every time you drive by your own, you wake up and you do your stretching, or you shave, or you have some spare time, you cook your food, you listen to them every single evening before you go to bed, you listen to them, and then try it out, and you will be better than before. Goals is just, you need to be as precise as possible with your goal. So just saying, yeah, I want to be rich is not enough. And maybe just saying I want to have 10K a month isn't enough, because you can have 10K a month or 20 or 30K a month, in million ways. You can be a billionaire in a million ways. So even if I say I want to be a billionaire, like I say to you, it is very, very broad. You can be a billionaire in so many ways. Of course, there are areas where it's easier, areas where it's harder. But it's only hard and easy because there are not people who have achieved it. But in order to, achieve something, or in order to invent something new, their invention was only there if, forget this point. Goals, you have the goal, so that is who you want to become. Be as clear as possible, as profound as possible, and know exactly who you want to be. Most of the time, people are too broad with it, because they see now actually who they need to become, with the 8 points, what character they need to have, and then your current situation is very frightened, because it's completely different from the thing they are right now. And then you feel resistance, and what you do is you push and push and go and do it. Organization is just simply that you need to be structured in everything you do. So what you see here on my desk are only, depends, my mobile phone actually, this lamp, and my MacBook. That's literally it. So I have nothing here. Yeah, and obviously the camera and the standing desk. And there are some cables here, but you need to have a clean environment. You need to be very, very, very organized when it comes to things. But because that, again, that causes something, or that actually hinders you from procrastination. When you know exactly where the things you need, when you exactly know where or what to wear every single morning you wake up, when you actually have the groceries every single morning in your shelf, when you actually know where your working desk is, it is very easy to do this. This is just for Luxus. So if you are organized, you will see that your productivity, I mean only the ability to pursue focus and in time, will ramp up. It is easier. Time management. Time is actually a humanly made up component that is defined in hours and minutes and seconds, and we are actually, and with that, oh, sorry. This behind the table, I will do later. And actually, with time, it is very, very easy for us to understand what actually do when. Because what is time? Time is only action, nothing more. Time is movement towards action. When you talk about I go to the gym for 1.5 hours, what do? You push. For example, if you're on chest press, you push your arms for a given amount of time that is actually the movement away from your chest towards your chest. And you do this. And when you rest, what do you when you rest? You sit there, but your heart is pumping towards a given time. Time is just the manifested thing that tells us movement. So what time is, or what we do with time blocking, we actually block our movements we do in order to achieve the goal. Easy. If you say, yeah, I need to do cold outreach, or I need to hire someone, or I need to have coaching calls, what you only do is you talk, you have words, and the words are made up by moving your mouth in a given, in a special system, in a special period, in a special way, basically. So it is very easy when you think about that. And for example, this video is 75 hours long only because it took me this time, and with time, this amount of motion in my mouth to articulate the things and to show and to write the things down in this time. That's it. Time is only movement. Diet. We had to exercise. Another thing. It is only because of your shape, and exercise is the leverage tool. So when you, for example, what I do after recording this video, at 2 p.m. I will go to the gym. And what the gym does is it will help me to, of course, I spend 1.5 hours there, or I drive there, spend 1 hour there, drive away, so 1.5 hours total spend. What allows me is I have more focus and more energy in the evening. The blood gets flow. Do you know blood flow? Do it. Just do it. I don't want to explain. Just do it. Please, exercise. And what I want to do, exercise 3 to 4 weeks, upper lower body or full body if you want to. That's it. Nothing more, not too complex. And with all of these areas, and as well with the business stuff and so, the thing where you track or the reason why you should track every area of your life is because then you can see improvements. I'm actually right now figuring out how I can track my relationship, because then I don't fall for decreases, and I can understand it and I can prep it. But that's very in depth, and you don't need to do it if you want just to earn 40k a month and have a decent relationship. But I want to do it, and I want to nail everything in my life, and I believe that is a strong component. Love the suffering. That is just or that is only something that has to do with the relationship of pain. This here, what I do right now, talking to the camera, is something that drives discomfort. It would be way easier to watch a YouTube video for me, like you do. Way easier. Watching something. And that is most of the time real because you want to take action, and action is not like sitting here. When you watch those videos, maybe your mind develops, but your mind only develops when you take active actions. Watching this video without taking notes, without actually consciously thinking about the things I told you, you will stay right there back again. You will stay to your current situation and you will do nothing. Pain is growth. Pain is growth. As a kid, for example, I had the problem that I grew too fast, so I was 6'1" in the age of, don't want to be wrong with that, 11 to 12 or 13. Thankfully I stayed the same height since then, but I grew very fast. And as a kid in the age of 8 or 9, I had enormous suffering in my leg, in my spine, in my bones, because my body grew too fast. What is pain? Pain is only the intensity or the volume of the suffering you give, or it's the intensity of action you spend towards a given time. You have more pain when you are a kicker for a Super Bowl, at the Super Bowl, and you have to kick the winning kick. If you miss it, your team doesn't win. If you hit it, you win. This is an enormous amount of pain, given by a lot of variables. Millions of people are watching you, social thing. You maybe lose your contract if you hit it, the financial thing. So all of this contributes to that. But it is more and more painful because this action changes a lot in your life and contributes to a lot of growth in comparison to just kicking a field goal at the training. Because what happens if you miss, you will get fired, everyone hates you, life's over. But if you hit it, you are the one who reached the goal, you are the one who won, you are the one who actually did it. So that's the reason why actually pain is something good, because pain is only the speed of growth, and pain is required to change, to grow. Pain is only the currency that the universe gave us to grow, and grow is only way of change. We also feel pain when we decline. You feel pain when your bank account is negative, but you also will feel pain when your bank account is positive. Pain is just something that or grows, because taking the action to have more money is pain. So you can choose to sit here and decline, or to do the action and grow, and both of the things are pain. You can't go away with it. The last one was persistence, and persistence just simply means that you need to do all of these 9 things. So resist impulses, sleep, gratitude, goal setting, so goal character, organization, time management, diet, exercise, and the law of suffering. That means the law of pain. You need to do them every single day. Practice them, preach them, and do them. That's it. That's how you reach your goal. That's how you sail towards success. And the last thing, the last bonus I want to give you, what I do to become a billionaire. What I need to do is actually, I need to literally sacrifice every single area in my life besides social, and I'm very cautious about my social group, my relationship with my family, with my my self-made family, so with my girlfriend and my future kids, and with my faith, so with the higher force that I believe in. Can be God, whatever. I don't say in what I believe, but this is the relationships I have. Social, what did I say? Social health. So the thing that actually helps me to achieve it. And when I look at my health, I only see health as something useful. Earlier, I want to become a bodybuilder and I want to be jacked and all of that. But when I feel that I'm sore and there are times where I need to suffer a lot, I don't exercise for a week, okay? But I need to be very cautious about the fact how I do that. And I need to be very aware, because most of times, for me and for you, these things are only resistance. I need to journal a lot and need to be aware that these things are actually true, that I tell myself. So I only have social life, so friends, family, relationships, health, and the goal, the work. Because the gratitude thing, that is something of course I do every single morning, but that's what I do while I'm doing the course. So I actually spend my time in a very efficient way. The time management, I track every single day. The organization, I have everything neat, tidy, clean, and the cleaner I have it, the more organized, the easier it gets for me. And the sleep, I sleep very good. I focus my sleep. I sleep every single day at the same time. You know what is good for you. You know how to grow, you know how to do it, but you don't do it because you are not aware of the fact, or you don't do it because most of the times you are not ready yet, or you set this time goals, and you don't do it because of multiple factors. So that's the video. And if you are right now stuck with your company, if you have an agency, coaching, consulting business, and you are stuck at 10, 20, 30K, I don't know where, and you want to grow, you don't know why, you don't know how, I'm there for you. I will help you. I don't sell you a course or something. I do one-on-one with you. So I actually guarantee this to you, so I will work until you did it. but normally it takes you to double or triple your income. It takes you 4 to 6 months, and then you not actually only double or triple, you 4, 5, 6 exit. I saw people who, you know, made 20k and after 6 months they did 200, and it was only because I said things that they needed to hear. That's my only job. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in, you know, working with me, click the first link in the description. I love you, appreciate you. Yeah, have a great day. Bye bye.